What's going on, YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. It's been a while since I've done a Teen Titans video. I mean, I've done some of them recently, but I haven't gone back and finished the rest of the issues like I promised just yet. We have this month and next month to get them all done in time for the final issue. So, where was we last leave off in kind of going back through and recapping the old issues? We started with issue 5, and then now we're into issue 6, and then this is going to be the first part of a two-part storyline. This is the Rise of Aqualad part 1. So this is issue number 6. And again, now that I got that crazy intro out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about this issue. So this is the beginning of a two-part story arc. It's a really, really short story arc because immediately after this two-part story arc, they went right into the Lazarus contract. So we'll get talking about the Lazarus contract and talk about all the crossover issues after we finish the Rise of Aqualad story arc. And, you know, then we'll move on from there on to the next thing, the Fallout, all the fun stuff from there. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started with issue number 6. So as the issue begins, we see some sort of prison break going on here. You see, oh crap, something happened here. We see Damian here. He is kind of talking to the reporters. They're talking about something that broke out. Beast Boy's there basically to just kind of annoy him. And then Goliath comes in. We get some kind of comedic relief scenes right here, kind of showing a bit of the dynamic. Again, Beast Boy's kind of himself right now, and we also see this poor seal get eaten, which we'll later find out is King Shark. But yeah, so there is some funny moments here with Kid Flash talking about how the chairs are kind of uncomfortable. Damian's just like, actually, since I pay this shit, we're going to have uncomfortable chairs, so it's not so much leisure time. But even though, there's a scene later on where he's clearly playing video games. But, yeah, so Beast Boy comes here. He's talking about bringing some tofu food in, and then Kid Flash is just like, I want some pizza. The food you brought here is disgusting. So then something goes off, an alarm happens at the tower, and then it turns out just to be some sort of reporter, because Beast Boy was just like, hey, we're going to have an interview here. And so Beast Boy just kind of himself, he's just talking about the team themselves. He's being kind of comedic. He's talking about how cool Kid Flash is. He's talking about himself. He's talking about Raven, who's just like, go away. He talks about Starfire and how she's hot. And then I kind of like this a little bit here where he's just like, Damian's just sitting there playing his zombie video game, whatever that is. And then he's just like, okay, the interview's over. And then we kind of cut to the next part, which, again, the first part takes up half the issue. It's kind of just really not much happens in there. It's just kind of the team just a little bit of downtime, which I do appreciate because you need a little bit of downtime with the team, because I feel like a lot of these books, it's just it's nonstop stuff. You need some downtime in these issues in order to really kind of flesh out the characters a bit more. But as you can see, this is where we are introduced to Aqualad, who by the end of this issue is trying to make his way to Titan's Tower. So he's there. He doesn't know who his father is at this point, which, as you know, if you watched Young Justice or seen a lot of things, you know his father is actually Black Manta. So his mother is Atlantean. So anyway, so Beast Boy's talking to the reporter who gets dragged under, and then he's just like, what happened here? And then also we cut again to Aqualad, who's with his secret boyfriend, and he kind of showcases his powers, but then his secret boyfriend that he's been, meeting up with, whose dad doesn't want him to find out or whatever, it's just like, I've had enough on this. I'm not talking to you. So Aqualad decides, you know what, things aren't going so well. I'm going to head to Titan's Tower. And then we also find out who actually kidnapped the reporter. Oh, actually, no, we don't at that point. We find out later on in the issue. Sorry, my bad. But anyway, so Aqualad doesn't really know who he is at this point. He wants to try and find out, about his father. He wants to find out his abilities. He wants to go to a place where he can fit in. He feels like Titan's Tower is going to be the ideal place for that. But, so anyways, so we see Beast Boy here. There's some funny banter with Beast Boy. Again, I kind of like him in this series. It's definitely a bit comedic, and he definitely brings the levity to the group, and he plays really well off Damian's banter. So the team's kind of there. They're circling everything. There's a couple of witty banter back and forth here. I should also showcase that the art here is actually quite good. Then we have the final line of the issue is a nice reference to Jaws, which is, we're going to need a bigger boat. And that's basically kind of the gist of it all. And then it moves into the next issue. But yeah, again, this is a really... One thing I noticed about the Percy run with Teen Titans is it's actually a really fast read. So you can power through these books quite quickly. Even again, this Rise of Aqualad storyline, it's only 2 issues before we went into the next big crossover. And I think that kind of like hurt this book a little bit in hindsight, because with all the crossovers, you don't really like with the constant crossovers and this thing only coming out once a month. It just feels like they're kind of cut short of telling like the storylines that they want to tell, and it is a bit unfortunate, and it definitely kind of hurts the book like overall, like in the Percy run. But I mean, comparing it to like where we're at now in the Teen Titans book, which, you know, what was it, issue 40 something just came out. You just had the annual and then the follow-up issue after that. This is a lot better. I really like the art style here. I like how there's just they're having a little bit of downtime at the tower. They're having a bit of fun. There's some levity to it. Again, like nothing much in the way of plot, but it is the start of something. So again, I think this issue's fine. It's a very, very quick read. You can read it like a few minutes. And then it leads directly into the next issue. And there's some nice looking art. There's some good banter here and there. And then there's a couple of funny one-liners, I guess. So again, I think this issue's fine. Nothing mind-blowing or amazing or anything you're going to like hold to really high standards. But I think it's a fine issue. So anyways, that's going to wrap it up for my review on issue 6 of Teen Titans. Let me know what you thought of it in the comment sections down below. I really appreciate everybody for watching these videos and subscribing to the channel. Got more content coming up along the way. I just kind of want to get some of these Teen Titans videos out and then move into talking about the Lazarus contract storyline and then move on from there. Because I definitely want to kind of like catch up on these before the final issue comes out next month of Teen Titans. So I want to get all the issues. I want to get all the issues covered and talked about. Because we got to get to issue 20 at least, or the special. So got the crossover stuff. And then, actually, there's 2 crossover stuff during the Percy run, which was like the first, 20 issues of the book, basically. You had the Lazarus contract, and then you had the Super Sons of Tomorrow arc, which should be fun because I love talking about Super Sons. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. As always, thank you all so much for watching this. Take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.